It's the World Pokemon League, #1 draft league you could ever see. Getting stronger, yeah, I'm building up my own team. Gotta be the champion, the one you can't defeat. It's the World Pokemon League, #1 draft league you could ever see. Getting stronger, yeah, I'm building up my own team. Gotta be the champion, the one you gotta beat. Pokemon League, #1 draft league you could ever see. Getting stronger, yeah, I'm building up my own team.
It's the World Pokemon League #1 you could ever see. Hey, we're getting stronger. Yeah, we're building up our own team.
Building up our own team. Yeah.
Yeah. So, welcome back to the WPL Power Spot, guys. I'm your host, Bay City. I'm here with Jay Jingles.
Yo.
And so even though this is just a Master Ball coverage podcast for the WPL, just covering the Master Ball division, we actually have some news that pertains to not only just the Master Ball division, but to the Ultra Ball division as well. This is a league-wide announcement. So Jake, why don't you take it away with what it is?
Yeah, we don't necessarily block the Ultra Ball division from hearing this either. So if
no, yeah, you're free. You're your own person.
What?
You're free to do what you want.
and there it is.
Free.
Yeah, so like,
Line.
well, let's be honest. Everybody just listens to this thing. They fast forward. There's a reason I don't put timestamps in here. Everybody, you gotta listen to the whole thing.
They would just fast forward to their part.
Let's be honest. Everybody just wants to know what we say about their team so they can chirp us. That's not right. Anyway.
Yeah.
No. So the one thing, well, not the one thing. There's a few things that have to do with both, but the main thing is that we did extend the season by 2 weeks. 2 weeks. What was it? Total Recall. That was a reference to 2 weeks.
Total week call because you're
exactly. The second movie was awful. Anyway.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them. I don't even know what Total Recall is.
Colin Farrell didn't. Yeah, he didn't even do it either.
Colin Farrell, isn't that? No, I'm thinking of Conan O'Brien.
Wow. And that's an example of complete opposite people.
It's an example of the generational gap.
Yes. Yeah, so we extended the season by 2 weeks, and here's why. We normally don't, and I don't think we will again unless people really like it.
Colin Farrell was the Penguin in the Batman.
He was. I actually.
He was. Yeah, dude.
I heard that was. Yeah, it was a really weird casting choice.
I mean, but he killed it. It was he was great as an Italian mobster.
He did a good. That was such a good movie, man. Like,
dude, it was. It's the best superhero movie to come out this year, but like then again, the bar is in hell.
Yeah, I was gonna say there hasn't been a whole. Oh yeah, I guess the Thor movie I haven't seen. Was it any good?
I thought the humor was a little bit forced in my opinion, but it was a fun watch, I guess. It's definitely not better than the last one.
The MCU died with Thanos. Just saying.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Endgame was like, it was the nail in the coffin for the MCU. But yeah, back to Pokemon.
Oh yeah. We won't go this far off topic a lot, but okay. So why did we do 10 weeks instead of 8? We normally don't. We only do 8 because 2 months is all I really want people to commit to. But here's the thing: Scarlet and Violet, if you may not know already, is the newest Pokemon game coming out in November. And the way our schedule is going right now, we're gonna finish 2 weeks before the game comes out. Normally what we do is we like to have a full month off in between seasons. So like championships played, we have 4 weeks, and then we start the next season. But because this is unprecedented, we have a new game coming out. We have new format, new mechanics, new everything, new Pokemon. So I don't want you guys to do a draft cold, not knowing. Like if you have the game for 2 weeks, say for example you didn't get your paycheck, you get the game a week late, or something like that, then that means you only have a week to play the game to understand anything about it before you have to draft, and I don't want anybody to have to do that. So we're going to extend the season by 2 weeks, which means that the championship will be played, and then I think the game comes out Tuesday or Friday. I forget. Some games come out on Tuesday, some games come out on Friday.
It's November
18th?
18th. So whatever that day is.
Yeah, everybody, don't make us do all the work. You guys.
November 18th. It'll be here before you know it. Oh, yeah, it's Friday.
It is the Friday. Yeah.
Oh my god, I think I get paid Friday, so.
Nice. So so you guys do have 5 days if the championship's played on the Sunday to wait for the new game. I'm sorry, But it also means that
poor y'all will have to survive 5 days without
Pokemon. Even though the game it'll be completely leaked by the time that's anyway. You'll be playing it.
They're gonna be people who have beat the game like a week before it came out.
Yeah. Like #BDSP anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Anyway, but yeah. So basically, this is just it gives us an extra 2 weeks to make up for say forfeits or whatever it might be. So I think it's kind of good. It'll separate the herd a little bit too. Maybe the battle for 8th place won't be as competitive. You know, sometimes there's 5 teams fighting for the one spot. So this might spread it out a little bit more, and it also prepares us the most for next season as well. And I don't think anybody minds playing Pokemon an extra 2 weeks, right?
Me a little bit, but I'll survive. I'll manage.
Yeah, like when you lose 1/8 of your games in week 1, it doesn't feel very good. But 1/10 of your games, you know,
exactly. It's nothing. It is. You could go 9-1.
Exactly.
For the rest of your season. So.
Yeah, so that's basically why I did it. I didn't want to ask anybody because I don't want people to be like, some people be like, I don't want to, blah blah blah, and then I can't make any decisions. So unfortunately, it's a little bit of a dictatorship. But I do have consultants though. I don't make these decisions on my own. Everybody, by the way, I talk to a few select people, tell them my reasoning why, I pitch it to them, and they tell me if I'm super crazy or if it makes sense, and then I ask somebody else to say, what do you think? And if it's confirmed, then we just do it.
Well, the part that you actually forgot about that is that usually you have us over like a platform, and if we say something that goes against you, you just pull the lever and get fed to the crocodile pit down under the throne room.
Montgomery Burns, I am.
Yeah.
The trapdoor. But yeah, unfortunately, I think it's gone pretty well. Like, if anybody has an issue with anything, just let me know. Say, for example, if you don't want to play the last 2 weeks for whatever reason it is, that would suck. But it'd be nice if everyone just kind of played ball.
Especially if you're like in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's another thing too. If you're in the playoffs, you're like, well, actually, if you would have made the playoffs, there may be, I'm saying it right now before we do our first week, there will be maybe 1 or 2 teams that would have made the playoffs if it ended in 8 weeks that might not make the playoffs in 10 weeks.
Ooh.
Right? And I think that's going to be the narrative after the season's over. It's just like, in a regular season, I would have been in.
No, dude. In the regular season, I would have been the champion. It's like I would have won.
As we all know, the 8th seed always wins.
Yeah, I would have made it to the 8th seed, and I would have beat Vitor round 1, because that's just a free win. And then I would have beat Do round 2 because it's another free win, and then face LA and face LA in the finals. So just 3 free wins in a row. Yeah, I would have done it if the season just wasn't if the season wasn't that long.
Oh, now I know this is a fictional story. You don't know how I know that?
Yeah,
because LA was in the finals.
Well, yeah. Oh, he made the finals for another league. Just some news, I guess. Our very own WPL Galactic Porygons in LA fought in another league.
Oh yeah.
Took it down to the final, straight to the last mon. Galactic Porygons ended up taking the game. Taking the games 2-1. So congratulations on a new champion. It's always nice to see people that are in our leagues win other leagues, even if they weren't originally here first. It's still nice to see, especially people who are like active and engaged with the server.
Yeah, he's great. I'm glad. That was a really good ad. We recruited, for sure.
Yeah, he's been sticking around, and for the better. He's a good kid.
Yep, good kid. But that's why.
Speaking of good kids.
Speaking of good kids.
Speaking of good kids. Yes, exactly. I was gonna say Pokemon. The starters are kind of like good kids, right? They're
back to the next horrible segue, everybody.
Yeah, awful segue. So we got some news regarding Scarlet and Violet. I believe it was last week we got a Pokemon Direct that revealed a couple things for like the other games like Masters, Unite, etc.
Yeah. Nobody cares about those games.
Yeah, nobody cares. Buzzwole's in the game now. If anybody really likes Buzzwole,
hurrah!
Octo. So we got a better look at some of the cover legendaries, Koraidon and Miraidon. So it turns out you're going to be able to ride those across the region, using them to run, to climb, to soar, to surf. So kind of like they're the HM replacement.
Well, one uses wheels and one doesn't. but they both have
that's
wheels.
that's a really funny part.
If you haven't seen it, guys, check it out.
Oh my god, yeah, Koraidon has like this sack on their throat and like under their tail that looks like wheels, but they don't move at all. Yeah, so he's just running across the region. So I'm getting Violet.
Yeah, I'm going Violet as well. I don't care.
I'm going Violet.
Someone in this league has to get Scarlet, just so we can get everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when I have a friend, not in this server, but they're getting Scarlet. So
nice. We'll use them.
I was like, cool. Yeah, I was like, everybody's just gonna get Violet. I just think Miraidon looks cooler.
Well, and like, something about futuristic Pokemon too that sounds really cool. Like imagine T-Tar really in the future.
Yeah, imagine future Pikachu with an iron fist, just ruling over everybody.
You mean more so?
Yeah, more so. Yeah. Pikachu's just like a benevolent dictator in the future. Okay, yeah, but so we got some news about that, and we actually got the gimmick reveal. So the gimmick was revealed to us.
Hats.
In the new Star Island trailer, and yeah, it's hats and bedazzling.
Surprise.
So the gimmick is called terrestrializing, and from what we don't know officially how it works.
Yeah. We know there's a button that you can click it.
Yeah, there's a button, you click it, and they also said that I think the terrestrialized typing is going to be unique depending on the Pokemon.
Yeah, it's almost like going to be like a mark. It seems like
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like
exactly.
I heard that any Pokemon could have any terrestrialized
typing,
which,
so it's like
which is really weird.
Worse, it's like hidden power but more broken.
Anyway.
Yeah, and there's raids are back, which I think everybody liked the raids.
I'm excited for that, honestly.
Yeah. That's really cool. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, without getting into like too much, we said beforehand we didn't want to get into too much, so I think that's probably enough. And if you didn't see it, you're living under a rock, or you're avoiding them like the plague and skip this part.
I mean, I think there's still a little bit more. Terrestrialized raids are back, so you're going to be able to raid on specific terrestrialized Pokemon, much like you can raid for specific Dynamax or Gigantamax Pokemon in Sword and Shield. So the raid aspect is back. That's cool. I mean, that fits with the game being multiplayer. So yeah,
I can't wait. I can't wait to see how. Like it says, you can roam the world with 3 others. I hope it's legit. Join my game, kind of like in what's it called?
Elden Ring.
Well, like I don't know how that game works. I just know that in GTA 5, Grand Theft Auto, you can literally join my server and run around and go to my house and this and that. Like I hope it's like that. But it's just Game Freak.
Like that because like I know in like Elden Ring or like the not Elder Scrolls, the what's that called, Dark Souls, you can invite people to your game. And
really? That's cool.
They come into your world and help you beat the bosses and stuff like that.
Oh, but they're Game Freak's easily 10 years away from that, because that was a feature that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, for sure, exactly. Speaking of Game Freak being 10 years away from that, so it got confirmed that you can do the gyms in any order, but unfortunately, in classic Game Freak fashion, 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Half measures.
You can do the gyms in any order, but the levels do not scale.
Yeah, it's like here's the option. You can go, if you really want, you can go face a level 60 gym.
Which I understand. I understand because like in open world games, there are places like that where it's like the beginning boss, like that's just right there. Like there's one that's just completely overpowered in the beginner's area, and you kind of have to avoid it and stuff like that.
The challenge runs I'm waiting for. Do it backwards.
Breath of the Wild, like there's a golden Lionel, like not too far from the starting area. You can fight it if you want. You're gonna get your ass kicked. You can also just go straight to the boss if you want. But like for a franchise like Pokemon, I feel like scaling would have just it would have been such a it's not even that hard. You just give the gym leaders 8 teams, and depending on which order you do it in, the others get programmed. It's not.
I think I am remaining optimistic. Me
too.
They have not made a terrible game yet. Like I think there have been worse than others. We have found ways to enjoy it.
Yes.
But I think we can all agree the music is just gonna bang. Like
for sure.
They haven't missed in a game yet. Like the music is always good. I'm excited for that. As long as they have
they're gonna give us another banger gym leader music. I'm not even worried about it. And last but not least, to finish up the Scarlet and Violet talking points, Wooper.
Oh yeah, Poison.
Wooper.
I want to see Poison Quagsire. That'll be cool.
It's we're not sure what it evolves into, because remember, you can
That
never be
is
too
true.
sure with you can never be too sure with the regional forms of Pokemon with what they'll evolve into. But the cool thing is, I think, is Wooper is or the Paldean Wooper. Oh yeah, it's the Paldea
Yeah,
region.
Paldea region.
The Poison Ground still gets water absorbed, so
Hey,
eliminating the weakness.
did it show the abilities?
Yeah, Poison
Oh,
Point and Water Absorb.
Poison Point. It doesn't have a point on it.
It is, yeah, it's just round. It's just
All right.
yeah,
Well, yeah,
little
I'm
turtle.
excited. I am very optimistic for this specific game. There will be areas where we are let down, and there will be areas mostly that we rather enjoy. So I am looking forward to just playing a new game, and I speak for everybody when I say we are sick and tired of Sword and Shield, and we want something new. Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
they
Yeah,
should have
just
given us 2 games to tide us over.
they gave us the DLC to tide us over. But they did give us 2 games to tide
Yeah,
us over. That's right.
I set myself
They
up.
actually gave. Um,
Yeah, but what you guys all came for? You guys came for us to talk about your matches, so I guess we can hop into it.
yeah, if we have to.
Yeah, we don't have to. Comment down below. This isn't a live
Yeah.
stream, so we're just gonna do it anyway. So the first game we're gonna talk about is South Croydon Soars or Sours or Soars Venusaurs.
Yeah.
Against the Galactic Porygons. A decent week 1. I think 2 good players going at it. It's always good to
Yeah.
see in the Master Ball
Definitely.
division. So that was cool. But the matches we've got. We're not going to go in. We're going to change it up a little bit. We're not going to go through a step by step, turn by turn. We're just going to talk about
Because
certain
that would be
points.
literally hell for us.
Yeah, we don't want to
Because
do that, and you guys don't really want to hear that because it's just boring. But we are going to talk about points that we do have. We did watch the matches, and we did kind of come through our certain standouts that we had, and some things might be interesting, some things might not. But realistically, you're going to skip to your own match anyway. So, but stick around if you want to listen to it. But we got Virizion, Dugtrio, Indeedee Male, Rabombi, Luxray, Aggron for South Croydon versus Sylveon, Sigilyph, Purloin, Tangrowth, Mamoswine, Lycanroc for Galactic Porygons. South Croydon Soars did take this game 2-1, losing game 1 and then taking the following 2 games. But what stood out for you in this match? Like, do we want to do game 1, 2, and 3, or just talk about just things that happened in the game that were awesome?
We could just talk about the whole thing in general. If we
awesome
go
stuff.
chronologically, just the awesome stuff, the cool stuff. So I think Dynamaxing the Aggron was really cool on
Twice.
Sorry, not Aaron. On Grizzle's part, all British people are the same.
Right, literally, like they're the exact same. In front of the Mamoswine twice.
Yeah, that was super ballsy. And
It's just a
the
quad
gamble ended up
weakness.
working off. Yeah, just a quad weakness. But the air balloon on the Aggron ended up working in its favor. That Mamoswine really couldn't hit it. And Mamoswine being on the field at the same time as the Aggron, not being able to hit it, puts it in a vulnerable position. So that was really good prep on Crystal's part for that.
Yeah, it's especially steel spiking the turn before as well. It's almost just like, you know what, he's gonna hit me with something to break the balloon, but also you got to be careful of being hit first and then getting hit with a horsepower too. But it did pay off in the end. But like, I thought it was a really ballsy choice to max in front of the one thing that is incredibly dangerous. But like you said, it worked out in the end, right? Choices were made and it worked out. But yeah. But hey, speaking of max options that were a little unexpected as well, as the Sigilyph was the max option twice for Galactic Porygons as well. I think it was twice. He maxed the Mamoswine game 2, I believe. Yeah, I think he did, and then it just went down early or something. But he did max the Sigilyph twice, 97 special attack. It's not your primary max candidate, but like it went off a little bit. But
Mine looked good against some of the team that Grizzle brought this week with Rabombi and Virizion not really wanting to take those max airstreams.
yeah, the Virizion, yeah.
Yeah. I thought what was cool with, or you pointed this out actually, Copycat Tailwind.
Never seen it until just
yeah,
now.
That's an awesome twist on the usual Copycat Trick Room.
I thought it was neat. He won.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I liked it. Just being able to get that speed advantage right off the bat was really cool. And I mean, that's a really creative way for using it. That was from the Purloin.
Yeah,
That's what the
Purloin is a
Purloin.
really cool mon. Like it's a really awesome. I had it once and I used it for weather setup. You use it for like a very poor fake out user, but like anything with prankster fake tiers is awesome. Like it just makes all of your average special attackers much stronger. Like, and you could completely obliterate something really quickly without being ready for it. But yeah, I think Purrloin was an awesome pick. Really good value in the C tier, and the Copycat Tailwind was really cool. Usually seen, for people who don't know, usually seen with... so what happens in a Dynamax format, just who doesn't know, if you Max Guard can be anything that is considered a status move or a non-damaging move. So when you Copycat, because Max Guard goes first, I think it's +4 priority. I think +3 or 4. I think it's 4. Protect is +4, so Max Guard is +4. The only one that's higher is Helping Hand. Just a little side note, is +5. So yeah, it goes first, and then Copycat is +1, so it copies the last move that was made, but you can't copy a max move, so you copy the root of the max move, which was Tailwind. So normally it's Trick Room in that situation, for those who don't know. But yeah, so really unique way of setting up Tailwind, and it worked out in the end because you got the win. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. But this game, to me, there were a lot of really cool plays. Like, I was watching this game, there were a lot of really neat plays, like enabling that Aggron with Speed Swap, and then also speed swapping oh my god, the speed swap on that Indeedee in game 3. Oh my god, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, that just like letting Krizzle just sweep the field right out. It was just like, all right.
It was the Atom Bomb. It was just, as soon as he dropped it, the game was over. It was he did it twice.
Everything had taken enough damage, and it was just allowed to clean up. Not to mention Ribombee, 124 is one of the fastest Pokemon in this format.
Yes. Yeah, I thought it was really cool that he brought it. Obviously, Ribombee has its own like kind of niche thing, usually with Speed Swap and like Struggle Bug, things like that. But yeah, like he timed it perfectly twice. He did it with the Aggron to give it the advantage, and he did it at the very, very end. He saved it for the very, very end. I thought it was really cool. And we also saw some power swap from Tangrowth. He used Leaf Storm, dropped his special attack by 2, and then swapped it onto the Indeedee. I thought that was really cool as well. So we saw some fun little techs in this game, and there was nothing short of entertaining. So that was really cool. Is there anything else that really stands out from this game before we move on to the next one? But
I think that's it. Really good games from both of them. Super close games. And I mean, it was literally just one play away from being the difference on game 3. And it just happened that Krizzle made the right call at the right time.
Yeah, definitely. The Lycanroc also was a nice little touch as well. I think it was banded as well. I banded with Tough Claws, maybe. I don't know if I caught that wrong, but
I'm not sure what the item was, but
it was doing a ton of damage.
Insane amount of damage out. Yeah, it's just in close combat was cleaning things up. Game 1. Yeah, so it either way, I mean, whatever damage output it's working.
I just realized your note here, Lycanroc CC Tough Claws, actually good. I love it. I just saw the name Lycanroc. I'm like, oh yeah, Lycanroc was doing a ton of damage, and I'm like, I didn't write that. That was you. No, it's simple but good. That's literally what happened. It was really good.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, 1 of 10 weeks. I don't doubt that Galactic Porygon is going to win a whole bunch more for the rest of the season.
Yeah, some might say he might bounce. He might.
I was gonna say extra points if he has a bounce user on his current 6. I don't see one. Lycanroc might get it.
Maybe gets it.
Actually, it might. Who knows? I'm not checking it.
Yeah. Speaking of not checking things,
But yeah, good start to the season for South Croydon. He just barely missed out on the playoffs in Week 8 last season, so he's looking to redeem himself this season. Yeah, that last match by Jenna, just to steal that spot from him, was the last thing he tasted last season. So he's hungry, right? He's hungry. Yeah, like those metaphors, they're good.
Yes.
Anyway, so what's the next one we're going to talk about?
So the next one, we have an even amount of glory on the field.
Ooh.
With the Inglorious Surfers and the Glorious Shadows. So 2 Europeans, 2 British people.
Which means they're good, everybody.
Yeah. So on Aaron's side of the field, Inglorious Surfers, we have Barraskewda, Pelipper, Obstagoon, Vileplume, Cottony, Pikachu. And on Glorious Shadow side of the field, we have Tornado, Starion, Toxapex, Thwackey, Ninetales, Throw, and Crocodile. So this was the weather war.
Yep.
Um,
week 1.
Yeah, week one, just right off the bat. That tends to happen.
It does seem like the weather teams face up. You had one, didn't you? We had Kyogre versus Groudon.
We had Groudon week 1.
Yeah. No, they showed it like the entire match. But by the way, this one was on cart. Everybody, have a look. It was really good. Aaron is just he kind of broke down his game because he couldn't get his mic to work during the match, so he just kind of covered it after. But even so, it's on cart. What you do is you just put on some like banger music, mute the stream, and put it on 1.5 speed or 2 times speed. So much fun. It's
and by banger music we mean the Sword and Shield gym music.
Wow. Actually, for those who are looking for like wicked remixes, who's that one that does it? There's a Marnie remix from the theme. The one that says that. You know that one. Anyway.
Yeah, Marnie. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, you talk. I'll find out who it was because that's okay. Me now.
All right. So so to kick things off, we have the weather war.
Glitch City.
Glitch City. And Glorious Surfers actually ended up taking this set 2-1, losing game 1, or Glorious Shadows took game 1 3-0.
And that was a fun one.
Yeah, and then Aaron took both games after that 3-0. So just 3-0s all across the board, with the victory going to Glorious Surfers. So game 1, man, that burn on the Barraskewda
happened early too.
Yeah, it happened super early. It must have been a couple turns in when it happened, but it kind of just sealed the deal right there. And I mean, it's not like Scald doesn't burn because it's Scald.
I think it's 30%, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a 30% chance, but honestly, it feels like a 50% chance. Really,
100% chance when it's against
me. Yeah, 100% chance when it's the least convenient for you.
From the Pokemon you're ignoring, like Toxapex, that's usually when it happens.
Yeah, exactly. Toxapex. With the Pokemon that Aaron brought, without Pikachu, he really didn't have a strong way to hit the Toxapex, considering it's a fairly bulky Pokemon as well.
Well, he did have Drill Run on the Barraskewda, but I don't think Barraskewda wants to go head to head against anything it can't kill in one shot.
Exactly. Yeah, which is what I mean. And Drill Run was only doing some damage. It wasn't it was probably a 2-hit KO maybe without the burn.
2 or 3, yeah. Like it was probably 2. Yeah. There's not many things that Barraskewda can't 2-hit KO, but yeah, that was but once the burn happened, like you said, it was basically game over. It was he didn't Dynamax it. He was forced to Dynamax his Pelipper at the end, which isn't a bad Dynamax candidate. Especially setting its own rain and using water stab moves. Like it does hit really hard. But it's just when obviously I don't think that was the plan. He just did it because he had to. I think you can definitely tell how the match went that the Barraskewda was something he'd lean on. Surprise, right?
Yeah.
Looking at his roster, what? Dynamax Barraskewda?
That's crazy. Yeah, no, but I mean, even good game 1 from Glory Shadows as well, being able to like identify. Oh, I got the burn for the Barraskewda. I can ignore that and just target everything down. And it ended up working. And with his D-Max too, with the D-Max Tornadus Therian is a super bulky Pokemon, especially in this format.
And really strong, like 112 or 110 special attack or something like that. Its coverage it has coverage for days though.
Yeah, exactly.
Went round 1, I think, right? I think it was his round 1 pick.
It might have been. I'm not entirely sure. And
unless you went Regidrago, I forget.
Either way, good game 1. And game 2, just Aaron right off the bat. Game 2, Misty Terrain going up turn 1.
He's like, that's not happening again.
Yeah, he's like that burn. Yeah, I'm just like, that's not happening.
Well, again. And it's funny. He probably brought it just to change the terrain on the Thwackey. But it found a second use. I don't think he was going to be expecting fighting off burns and poisons all week, right? But I guess he found a use for it. It just shows how much of a good player he is, who just adapted, used the tools he had. But yeah, so he definitely took a different approach, and I think he just smashed him. It was over pretty quick.
I wouldn't say over entirely.
Oh no, that was game 3. My bad.
Yeah, there were good plays from Inglorious. Sorry, I'm gonna be mixing these up because y'all both have Glorious dudes. I'm sorry. Glorious Shadows. That Mold Breaker throw was revealed in game 2 because Barraskewda and Pelipper were on the field, and then Pelipper switched out into Pikachu and predicting the Lightning Rod. But predicting the Lightning Rod, Max Lightning went down into Pikachu, ignoring Lightning Rod and bringing Pikachu down to which was revealed to as Sash. Um, so that was a cool moment.
Well, it's really easy to miss the Mold Breaker announcement when it came in. Like I missed it. I was watching it live. Not live.
Especially since it's on cart.
Yeah, like that's the thing about like with Showdown, you could just look at your Pokemon, just hover over it, and it'll tell you what something you missed, or you just read the stuff on the side. So like on my game on cart this week, I had to like go into like the status page and stuff like that to see what boosts were there, what the terrain was, certain things like, and you don't have to do that in it even gives you the number. It gives you like how high your attack is. Like I am literally this number. But yeah, on card it's definitely a different animal, but definitely good for us to watch. So that was really cool that they did that. But yeah, there was so much weather back and forth. This was, yeah, now that I remember, the game 2 was really long, actually switching in weather, switching out weather, getting positioning, like
not to mention that the last thing was the Toxapex who did end up getting a burn on the Barraskewda towards
at the very end.
Yeah. But Toxapex had to show down a Cottony and a Pelipper, and that was in a winning battle with Hurricane being able to get the last KO on that Toxapex, taking it off the field, ending the game at a 3-0.
Yeah, and then game 3 was just a lot of the same. It was just yeah, like there was one thing that happened. The when you lose a Dynamaxmon really early, it's never good in a Dynamax format. But yeah, like I know that there was a max airstream that went into the throw. I think it did about 45% or something like that. So like if that happened to me, what I'd be thinking is I could probably survive another one, unless it was a really low damage roll. What are the odds of that happening? Sure enough, airstream goes off for the KO.
Making that what should have been a 3-hit kill into a 2-hit kill because of the low damage roll. Yeah, that stuff like that always catches me off guard, especially when I'm playing. I'm just like, I can live this, and then the RNG gods say no.
Famous last words. I'll live this.
Yeah, I'll live this. It's
We've
like,
all been there.
You live this. You live this, bro. You trust me, bro. You live this. Trust me.
And then you're playing BDSP, and they loved you so much that you survived.
And then your Pokemon did a little leprechaun dance.
Did its best Mr. Rhyme impression, and then and survived. Yeah. This game was so. I loved watching this game because this was just like every once in a while, like for sports fans and stuff. That's just like a good game. Like sometimes you watch a game and it was just fundamentals were just like in play all the time. Like you could just tell like everything was positioning. Like it was just turn one. Okay, the Barraskewda's on the field. I'm gonna hard switch in my what's it called, the Thwackey, just because I'm gonna hit this thing, and then I'm gonna Grassy Clyde with priority next turn and things like that. Like let's get the weather on the field. Okay, my weather's on the field. Let's switch it off because if he switches his in, now I could switch it back in. Like it was just a lot of fun to watch. I was watching.
Very Weather Wars. Very.
Yeah, they did such a good job with field position and stuff like that. So I think both players are probably going to see each other in the playoffs at some point. So yeah, that was a lot of fun to watch.
Despite having a D tier team, Aaron picked.
Oh my god, yeah. But he did make a move this week though, so he must have heard me of some kind. Maybe he was prepping and just went, you know what? I don't want to say he's right, but I need some more offense on this team. And he dropped Ditto and grabbed Espeon this week. I love Espeon.
Yeah, no, Espeon's a really, really good pickup. That thing it's awesome. I love it.
130.
You can't taunt it. You can't do it. It's like discount Hatterene.
It's literally a Hatterene.
Yeah, it's Hatterene before Hatterene.
Yeah, we banned the Hatterene, so he got Hatterene anyway.
Yeah, he picked it up pretty cheap too, honestly.
C tier? Yeah. 130 special attack in the C tier. Yeah, all of it's my fault. You know what? But the last thing I want to point out before this game is, I don't know if it was the difference maker, but I remember I was watching it and I was going, Tornadus Therian won game 1. I would have done it again. It didn't even see the field. It didn't even come the last 2 games. It did really well in game 1. I'm surprised it didn't show up.
Maybe just the fear of Pikachu. Like
the fear of Pikachu is real, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, especially with the Cottony there, being able to just get that speed control right off the bat. And Pikachu's decently fast too. Like not too slow, but not too fast at 95.
Well, and Aaron did a good job getting airstream boosts on it too. So like he, especially being faster than the Tornadus as well. giving it an airstream. It might have been spec'd out speed, the Tornadus as well. But I thought it would, just because of the coverage it gets and how bulky it is, when you max that thing, it's just going to do really well. So I was surprised it didn't max again, but also there's so many factors in a match that change, and in prep you find out many things that obviously someone on the outside doesn't really realize. So like people always say to me, why didn't you do this? And like, that was stupid. It's just like, well, it wasn't necessarily stupid because I found out this and this and this and this and this. And it's like, I didn't realize
this could have happened. Yeah.
So I try not to hold it too much against them, but it's just a little food for thought. I thought that Tornadus looked pretty good as a max option in games 2 and 3, or one or the other. And, but they both played pretty well. So like it could have gone either way. So good on them.
Yeah, truly. So yeah, good games from both of them.
Which brings us to our which will bring us to our next match. UA Huge Power versus the Cascade Illusions.
Wow, you butchered that.
I did butcher it.
That was awful.
I was about to make some sort of joke about butchering with referencing the match, but no, they both played really well.
Yeah, it was it really was like a battle of titans, just like two giants like coming out of the ocean, just beating the shit out of each other.
I've never considered David in David and Goliath being two giants facing each other, but
David is giant when he's with his friends. And
in friendship, well, nothing's stronger than family.
Yeah, nothing. That's why there's so many Fast and Furious movies. Like,
are they getting into double digits yet?
I believe the next one is 10. Yeah,
and it's in production.
They went to space in there for their last one, so I don't know how they're gonna top it.
Oh, did they? Yeah, tell me more about Fast and the Furious.
It was actually.
No, I'm joking. I wasn't serious.
Hold on, wait. This is really funny though. It's Ludacris goes into space in like a souped up car with like wings and a rocket attached to it, and Ludacris goes to space.
So what you're saying is they acted a fool.
I know Ludacris from Baby.
Oh, I knew him when he actually made music. I'm old. But about speaking of old, our two players here.
Two of our in the geriatric division.
Oh my goodness. But we had UA Huge Power. You and I rated UA Huge Power, which is Octo, as the number 1 team.
Yeah.
So we both thought that he had enough offense and speed differential between top end and bottom end, and ways of setting up and support. So we get to see it in action this week. And we did. And as a result, but it's not a good combination when you have the league's the lowest average team defense stats versus the team with the average highest offensive stats. And that's what we had with Octo versus Cascade, with Cascade's average special defense at 67, I think it is.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, 60.
Let's go with 69 because that's funnier.
Exactly 69, which is very low, very very low as an average. So that's the way it went. So game 1 was won by Cascade, getting a jump on Octo in game 1 just with his weakness policy Aerodactyl strat, which we'll get into. And then Octo just adjusted and then won games 2 and 3 2-0 2-0. So all 3 games were 2-0. But yeah, what did you think of the weakness policy Aerodactyl?
I thought, wow, it survives.
It was wow. I love it.
Yeah. Anything can happen. Aerodactyl is one of the fastest Pokemon in this format, so being able to get it like an insane amount of damage right off the bat is really good. Tauros's coverage is also insane, so it gets a lot of Gen 1 moves, like Surf, which
for some reason I just pictured riding a bull in the ocean.
just the bull riding a wave. Yeah, it was. I mean, it's a good way to proc it. You don't have to worry about redirection or anything. I'm not sure if Octo has any redirection on his team off the top of my
aside
head.
from ally switch, but even so, it gets around. That's stupid. I think he has a bunch of ally switchers too. So that was yeah. I think he also had Ice Shard on his Frostlass as well. The team, I do help Cascade prep.
Surf,
so we had 2 ways of doing it.
It breaks Sash on anything else on the other side of the field.
Exactly.
As we saw in that game 1, just immediately going for the Inteleon with the Rockfall. So Surf breaks Sash. I'm assuming Inteleon has Sash because as somebody who has Inteleon in another league and has painfully learned the lesson, Inteleon must have Sash.
Or Scarf, or Life Orb, or Choice Specs, or
if you wanted to live.
Yeah, the set that I think Octo was running, he needed Sash. Yeah, it seems like it was a support set, but yeah, I thought it was definitely a game one, best of one kind of strat with the weakness policy Aerodactyl, because like Aerodactyl's tailwind and speed control and things like that is just like it's fairly good. So especially with Stab Rock Slide doing just damage, like just in general, we'll get into the next game that actually talk about Rock Slide chip, but or the next match that we'll talk about.
Match, yeah.
But
we're not skipping this one because there's still another 2 games.
Well,
to be talked.
It's funny.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It's funny because like I told Jay, I remember said before the match, I said, hey, the way your strategy is, you better win game 1. Because this ain't going to you're not going to win a best of 3 if you lose game 1. Because if you show this strategy, yeesh. So, and he was well aware of that, and so that's the way it went. He won game 1 pretty handily. I don't think there was any looking back. There was a chance for Octo to get back in the game, because like once you get a weakness policy off with a really fast mon, you just start OHKOing everything, which is why Dynamax is so much fun, right, guys? And how we wish it's back for Gen 9.
No.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, terrestrializing is probably going to make us wish Dynamax is back.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't have as much of an impact, but every game does. Yeah. Like Z moves and Megas, they're huge impacts. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but Nintendo it still Game Freak still insists on running gimmicks that aren't Megas, because Megas were the best gimmick. Anyway,
so cool.
Yeah, so game 1, that weakness policy Aerodactyl was really just able to clean up the field. And any chance that Octo had of being able to bring that game 1 back was cut short because of body slam paralysis off the Tauros onto the Haxorus, which I'd say probably at that point was the win condition, and getting 2 full paras
in a row
off of it. Oh, that hurt. That had to have hurt.
Well, and not to mention he body slammed once and got a para, so 100% paralyzed chance.
Yeah, it's nobody expects a Serene Grace.
Yeah,
nobody's Serene Grace Tauros.
Yeah, but that was it for game 1. It was over pretty quick, but as we know, Octo, as he does, he adapts really well for a game 2. So he clearly he identified the fact that Trick Room needed to go up, and the only way it was going to go up is if he clicked Trick Room on 2 things in the same turn. Jay went for the exact same lead again, because sometimes the lead goes so well, which it did. You go with the same thing again and hope for the best, and the only way to beat it was double Trick Room. One of them goes down, the other one sets it up. So and it worked, and the rest is history because of DMAX Wishy-Washy. And the rest is history.
God, what's yours Wishy-Washy this season again?
Too damn low.
Yeah.
I think it was B tier.
D tier? B tier?
I think it was B.
Okay, that's fine. I was gonna say, because if it's D tier, that's broken.
Remember when it was D tier?
Yeah.
In season 1?
Yeah. The season Octo one, actually.
He did, yeah. It just so happens
that there's a recipe. Yeah, there's a recipe to success, and clearly it's Dynamax Wishy-Washy.
Yeah, stealing the D tier. That's how you. Yeah. That's how you win championships.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there wasn't really much to talk about the second game.
For anybody listening, Flygon is still in the D tier. If anybody wants to steal,
who would ever drop that thing?
Yeah, exactly.
I did it. I did it last week.
All right, so game 2 was pretty much won. Thanks to Wishy-Washy and Double Trick Room. Thank you, Wishy-Washy. Thank you, Double Trick Room.
Yeah.
And game 3, Octo just gets Trick Room up again.
Yeah. He didn't want to go for the same lead again. I know, Jay, obviously when you find out that your lead's being taken care of, you kind of go with a different lead, and he had the Bolt and Thunderous option. Go with
something else. Which is a cool lead, but Octo was really attacking.
Yeah. Electrify doesn't work well when Bolton goes second, so that's actually he was going last on the field, so that's you want to stop a Bolton, make it go last. Yeah. So that's as soon as Trick Room went up again, I think everybody knew. It was a little bit more of a grind, but like because Duraludon was the Dynamax option, and Duraludon only has 2 weaknesses anyway, ground and fighting, right? So it's it's kind of hard to stop a Duraludon once it gets going. And he did have a chance. The Dynamax Haxorus actually survived on, I think, like 5 or 10% or something off of the Wyrmwind. And if that Haxorus does go down, I don't know if it was a low roll or high roll, but if the Haxorus goes down, this is definitely a different game. But it survived, hung on, and just started KOing things. And yeah, and not to mention, he got a second round of Trick Room up. So
yeah, there was Trick Room Part 2.
The sequel, yeah.
Yeah, and can we talk about actually that Jigglypuff for a second? Sticking around longer than I thought a Jigglypuff would, thanks to Frangard. Yeah, Jigglypuff, one of the only Pokemon, I think, might be the only Pokemon around with Frangard, right?
Cleffa gets it, and Igglybuff, I think. No, maybe not Igglybuff.
No, not Cleffa doesn't. Wait, does Cleffa get it?
No. I actually don't know.
I don't know.
It doesn't get Follow Me, though. That's all I know. So.
No, it doesn't, yeah.
So, but I know one of the two do. I forget what it is, but
yeah, I think Haxorus gets it.
Haxorus should get it.
Yeah. Okay. So Clefairy, Jigglypuff, Cleffa, Igglybuff, Happiny, Scatterbug, Spewbun, Vivillon.
Oh, Happiny gets it too.
So it's not really widely distributed, and yeah, Octo managed to get Jigglypuff, who actually has 115 HP.
Yeah. So I think with a Jigglypuff, you throw just a bunch into your defenses and leave the HP stat, I think.
Yeah, you just put an Eviolite on it. And you just
I think that's what you do when you have a low defense Pokemon and a high HP Pokemon. I think that's what you do. I know when you get into like the base stats of 200, when it comes to like Guzzlord and stuff, you don't have to invest anything in HP.
Yeah,
because you get more valuable out of your defense stats rather than the HP stats. You know when you max your HP, like use EVs to boost your HP, if you put 252 in, you get like 36 HP. So if you have like naturally 300 HP on a Pokemon and you max out, you're only gaining 30 HP. So you're only getting like an extra what? Like 12%?
Yeah.
It's just like,
not worth it.
Yeah, you can throw it into your defense stats and it'll do really, really well, which I don't doubt that this got I don't doubt that that's what people do, but yeah, there wasn't a whole lot to talk about in this game. It was just very, very quick. Identifying your win condition, making it happen and executing and going from there. But it's no easy task facing a team like Octos right now. It's just I feel bad for Aaron next week that has to face a team like that. So, yeah, I don't doubt our not defending champion, but one of our previous champions, Cascade Illusions, will bounce back.
Bounce back. Vitor cries.
Oh my goodness. There's so many things that you could have been referencing there, but I just assume it would be funny.
Oh. So speaking of things that are funny,
speaking of being funny and bouncing back.
Yeah. Speaking of Texas
Landsharks versus the Feisty Phalanx.
Yeah, Feisty Phalanx, as they say in Dutch.
The Jedi Phalanx.
Yeah. So this match was over pretty quick.
Yeah.
This was just a 2-0 on given to Texas Landsharks. So we don't, let's see. You're writing that right now. So
well, I forget what score was. I forget what the score was. It was 2-1-0.
Game 2 was 1-0. Game 1 is.
Yeah, game 2 was 1-0, and then game 1 was 2-0. Yeah, so
2-0.
But it just seems like as soon as the Guzzlord got on the field,
it was over. Yeah, Jenny didn't bring any fairy moves for that, and I mean just being able to identify, it's like, does my opponent have any of these moves? No. Okay, cool.
That's just free Guzzlord.
Yeah,
that's just identifying that it's just good prep.
Yeah. So Raikou, both games being the lead and getting a screen up. Almost in vain that game 1 just to go
that
down
was so
to
funny.
Yeah, just
he did everything right. It was like intimidate, reflect, and then Araquanid just KOs anyway, and you're like, what? Oh, special. Found out the hard way, and then next turn he starts snarling, and you're like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, definitely. That was pretty funny. But I mean, Raikou being able to get that reflect up, no, didn't really do much that game 1, but that game 2, that reflect was definitely the difference. Being able to burn 3 max moves in game 2.
And Entei was +1 as well. That was the weird part.
That was after a coaching.
Yeah.
So man, that reflect, they were like 2 reflects up or something. They were thinking.
Yeah, it was. Jenna like clawed herself back. Like I feel like Jenna played well enough to actually win both of those games. It's just like I feel like she didn't have the tools to actually get it done, and she was really fighting for her team, and her team just wasn't helping her out. Like I know we said that in our draft analysis, or not draft, but team analysis after the first round of transactions went through. We were saying the strength of certain teams, and one of the things that Jenna's team struggled with was just raw offense. And we were saying that on the special side she didn't have a lot, and we did reference the special Araquanid, that it is a thing, and it turns out it was only a thing for about 1 turn in this game. And you could just tell they're like, when you've got a team like Entei, Araquanid, Pincurchin, you're like, okay, and then you got Bronzong, Riolu, and Wartortle. It's just like 3 of those things aren't going to do a ton of damage. Bronzong can do some damage with
I still
body
like
press.
Bronzong.
I like Bronzong too.
Good support.
It does what it does very well, if not one of the best ways of doing it with the steel type, and not to mention the levitate and or heat proof.
Yeah, but there were just no tools here to make a dent in that Guzzlord.
No,
it just stayed on the field.
And good on Will for identifying that. Like he brought it, and he's just like, hey, let's see how this goes. Let's just find out the things that possibly hurt the Guzzlord, and you could tell he was trying to target down that Araquanid and make it, because it obviously bugs super effective moves. But the thing about Araquanid is because it's got the water bubble ability, it doubles your water attack power. So when you only have 60 special attack like it does, okay, it's not very good. Any Pokemon with 60 special attack isn't going to do a lot of damage, but when you double water damage, it's going to do a lot. But the thing is on a special set, you're not always attacking with water moves. Like you've got to use your bug coverage too. So like I would be sitting there going, okay, hit me with a bug move. What are you hitting me with? Like your 60 special attack, and was it Struggle Bug? I don't know.
A Bug Buzz maybe.
Yeah, a Bug Buzz. Like okay, like you're gonna hit me a little bit, but let me Dynamax and get over 500 HP and see how you deal with that. Actually, over 600. And that's scary.
Guzzlord is insane. And it because Jenny did claw her way back into game 2.
Yeah,
but Dynamax Guzzlord just ended up being able to clean up kind of 2v1, 3v1 Jenny's team.
Yeah, and Will Dynamax so late. He saved his max so late. Jenny maxed her Entei, and then she tried to get something going.
Trying to clear things off the field, but
probably off extreme speed. I would imagine it was a bunch of max strikes. I was thinking what the normal move would have been, but I'm like, yeah,
it's probably extreme speed.
Yeah, there was a cool switch in though. She did switch in the lightning rod on a rising voltage that was about to kill Entei, or faint Entei. Sorry, not kill. They don't die.
Yeah.
But
Pokemon never die as long as they live with us
in our hearts. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as a result of that, it drew in the lightning rod, and then Entei got to KO the Raikou itself. So I felt that was a really good play as well. And she makes great plays. She does. It's just I feel like she didn't have the team.
She's a phenomenal player.
Yeah, I face her week 3, and I'm not looking forward to it. We squared off last season, and it was right down to the wire. And they're fun and all, but it's like running a marathon. So I'm glad Will, for his mental state, I'm glad that he got a chance to just end that one quickly. So good on him getting his first win in the Master Ball division. Actually, he got his first win in the Master Ball division.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations, Will.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
This division's not fun. It's not.
Yeah,
Don't do it. Anybody that's looking to go up.
Watch Will just go like 10-0.
I hope he does. He thinks he's got 10-0 in his mind right now. He loves his team. He's loving his team right now.
It's always a scary thing whenever anybody gets a team that they like.
Yeah.
So speaking of teams that we like,
our next match horrible matchups and I don't know, just me. Did you want to go over this one now, or did you want to? Like, I know enough about this match. I could talk about this all day, but like, did you get a chance to watch it yet?
Oh, nuts! Is it yours?
Yeah, mine.
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll just do yours right now, and then we can cut the recording after that.
Yeah. Well, now we have to actually cut it and edit it out because you said cut the recording. You broke the fourth wall.
You can just leave it in.
Honestly, I think it'd be funny if we did.
Yeah, they like stuff like this.
I think it'd be really funny.
Yeah, and just like Jay will edit this in post or whatever, and it's just like a green screen. It's just
yo, future Jay, edit this out. All right. Nah.
Yeah, it's like future Jay has fallen asleep.
So how do we go about this one? Because it's my match. Like I did it on card, but like it's like
I mean, go over the rosters that you remember. But
let's test my memory. So I went with Kingler, Lurantis, Meowstic, Silvally Fire. Actually, the battle report's probably. Oh, I don't have the battle report because I didn't do one.
See, that's what you get. That's what you get.
Heliolisk was also there in Sandaconda. They didn't play. That's why I didn't remember them coming. I only went with the
LA
Lurantis
was Regice.
Yeah, I've got it right here. Regice, Uxie, Mienshao, Dracozolt, Azumarill, Scizor. So with this match, when looking at the 12v12 in prep, one of the things that really scared me was huge power. So he had a lot of like natural offense, as we talked about in the preseason teams. He has a lot of in-your-face, just does damage immediately. Doesn't need to activate a weakness policy. Doesn't need to do anything. He just starts hitting. Hustle, Dracozolt, huge power. Azumarill, huge power. Daggersby, Toxtricity, Gmax is really devastating. And he has a little bit of support, too, with the Uxie, the Mienshao, and the Fungus. And that Mienshao really changed things for this prep. But I guess we can just talk about the game like we've been doing the other ones.
Monster.
Well, because his fake out's faster than my fake out, so it was a huge problem. It was just like it really changed a lot of things in my prep as well. But that Scizor was a big problem, so I definitely needed something for it. So I decided to go with the Silvally Fire. And the funny thing is he actually led Mienshao Scizor as his lead, and that's a lead I did not see in any match I played during prep. So I went with my Meowstic Lurantis lead in game 1, and it did really well. It did what it was supposed to do. But when you see a Scizor that's super effective against, threatens both of your mons right off the bat, so
yeah,
I was just like, this is not good. So I think it was a little bit of a grindy match. I got a couple favorable switch-ins and stuff like that. I switched in the Silvally Fire on the next Scizor and things like that, and then tickling the Lurantis, and then using the move tickle on Lurantis. See what I did there? Yep.
Yeah.
I tickle my Lurantis, and they like it.
Yeah. Yeah, that Lurantis was just able to go off.
It did its job. It did what it was supposed to do, which was really good. It was so obvious. He said it was really obvious, which I talked to him a little bit after, and he said that the Lurantis was a little bit of a problem in prep, but the Scizor was a problem for it. And I just had something in the back for it. So I got a couple of favorable switches and stuff and kind of got the edge, but Meowstic is just a monster. Tickling the Lurantis, boosting its stats, and also lowering the attack of the Scizor was very nice.
Yeah, and thank God that Contrary works like that, huh?
Yeah, like, yeah, what's funny? Like,
and Defiant don't. Cause...
Yeah, like it's just Contrary is so cool. Not many Pokemon get it and stuff like that. Like Superior, I think gets it, and Malamar, I think that's the other one that gets
Superior
it. But,
Malamar. Oh, and Amorous.
Oh yeah, an Amorous. Hopefully, I think that's in next Gen 9, isn't it?
Maybe we don't know.
Who knows, right? Like again, just remaining
we never know.
Yeah, hopefully.
I hope Charizard's in the next game. On my fingers are crossed.
Do you think Pikachu will be in the game?
Oh, Pikachu got confirmed day 1.
Could you imagine if there was a game where Pikachu wasn't in it?
It was, oh my god, people would riot.
No Pikachu would riot.
I thought it was the funniest thing. Whenever the first trailer came out, and for the first Nintendo Direct for Scarlet and Violet, and I saw Pikachu, I was just like, Pikachu!
No, that's
it's
awesome.
so funny because you know kids actually really like Pikachu like that.
They do. It's the face of Pokemon. They gotta.
Cute. It's cute. It's cute. I was at a convention a couple of weeks ago, maybe. I don't know. It's blurry at this point. But there was the stall next to us had like Pikachu stickers, and there was a kid who just lost his shit when he saw Pikachu. Like I thought it was really funny. He was like, I mean, like good on the kid because like he's excited about something, right? But it was just the funniest thing ever. He's like holding his parents' hand, and then like just to get yanked over and just like to start screaming, Pikachu, 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 while pointing to the Pikachu. It's funny. It's cute.
Remember back in the day when we used to care about things?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Weren't those the days?
You remember feelings?
Yeah. Now it's just like, yeah, we're so entitled nowadays.
Yeah. Oh my god, we got so sidetracked. Pikachu, Heliolisk, yeah, Lurantis.
Yeah. So basically, what happened is I won the game against LA. Just so we didn't really introduce this properly. The Toronto Six versus the Los Angeles Lanoons. And I ended up winning both games. I took game one, I believe it was 2-0, and then the second game was 3-0, or vice versa, one or the other. But yeah, so it's basically the game one went Meowstic Lurantis kind of just did its thing, lasted a long time, and then Kingler just came in and finished it off in the back. The second game, I figured there would be an adjustment, so I didn't want to go with the same thing again, but I'd bring it in the back so it was still there. So I went with Meowstic and Kingler. Because you can tickle your opponents for the defense drop that you also get, and then
LA actually led. I think he led Regice that game, didn't he?
No, he led Scizor. I was surprised. He went Mienshao Scizor both games.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a pretty decent lead.
Well,
That, gives
Lurantis,
you,
yeah.
options, yeah.
Like when you see the Lurantis there, it did get me on my back foot right away. So it wasn't a bad lead. It's just he was just gonna play it a little differently. I forget.
He maxed the Regice both times, right?
I believe he did, yeah.
Yeah, the Regice, and the Regice did look good against the Lurantis, and it looked good against the Kingler because the Kingler was the Dynamax game too, right?
Yeah, Kingler went
like
off.
being able to hit it with like a Max Lightning Thunder, but
Wakanda forever, Berry.
Wakanda Berry.
It did its job. It's what's the funny thing is, just a little behind the scenes thing. I actually forgot it had that berry on there. So when I Dynamaxed, I remembered immediately as the animation was going off that it had electric coverage. I went, no, I was like cursing my own name. I was like, no, why did I do that? That's so stupid. And the animations are so long for Dynamax, right? So you just sit there and you're just like waiting for it to happen. And then sure enough, Regice starts Dynamaxing. So it was like a full minute of me just regretting. And he went for his lightning, and all you hear is,
Yes.
I was like, yes. Oh my God. I was definitely thankful to my past self for putting that on there, because I think that was the difference. So in the end, no, he played well. He said that my prep was pretty good and stuff like that, having the right berries and stuff like that. And yeah, I prepped for a long time, so I prepped really hard for him. So I definitely won't get out prepped in games, but I will get outplayed. So just not this week. So
not this week. Yeah. Speaking of games.
Speaking of other people playing games, is Sao Paulo Excadrills versus the Quaxley Hotspur PC. So with this match, there's Balls, then there's Ball Z, then there's Lion Tamers, and then there's Dynamaxing an Aegislash in front of a Mudsdale.
Yeah, I think there are very few things that a Mudsdale wants to see when it's Dynamax, but Aegislash is one that it does. Aegislash.
Yeah, I think it's just licking his chops.
Yeah. So game one, Vitor did really well to get the momentum going with what's it called, Sneasel and Mudsdale. Yeah, Sneasel, Mudsdale, just being able to break down things with Mudsdale being able to stick around because of its bulk, and Sneasel just being able to get damage onto stuff because of its speed and the moves that it had. But yeah, I mean, the story ended as soon as it as soon as it started.
I felt bad
with the Mudsdale on the field, just going off. Really, that Mudsdale would just said free kills
for free. Well, by the way, the lead was Aegislash Jolteon, so that's 2 for 2 on things it really wants to see. So I think that's that was just an unfortunate scenario where you run into a lead. You're like Draco's just like, all right, I think this will work, and then it leads the Mudsdale. You're like, ah.
Yeah, and Mudsdale just kind of being able to really, I mean, dude, that thing is a monster. In a Dynamax format, especially like a budget Dynamax format, Earthquake or Max Quake, Max Rockfall, Max Steel Spike, just pretty much being able to. What can it hit?
Well, he's cheating. Vitor's obviously cheating.
Yeah, no, I mean that's why his team name is Sao Paulo Excadrills.
Yes, and he also drafted a banned Pokemon, or should have been banned. So my bad, everybody. Actually, my bad, Draco, for having to deal with that, and my bad to myself because. I'm next. I'm next on Vitor's
guillotine.
Yeah, it's so we should really just say what happened game one. Mudsdale happened next game.
Yeah, literally. There was a little bit of what was I gonna say? Terrakion was the last Pokemon, and so depending on what Draco had in the back, after Togetic, Jolteon, and Aegislash went down, there could have probably been some sort of semblance of like bringing it back. But I mean, it was Terrakion, and I think Solar Blade is the best move it gets.
I don't even think because at that point, because Mudsdale had stamina, it had like 3 defense boosts, and it had 2
getting
quake
those max
boosts.
quakes off. Exactly. There was nothing that was killing that thing.
No.
So Vitor did really good with being able to position Mudsdale to a victory.
Yeah, you got to give him credit.
Mudsdale, it's so easy a child could do it.
Literally. That's awesome.
No, but
he did go for game 2. He went
for sure.
He did the same lead again, but I think he didn't really need to switch, but he decided that that Magnezone was going to be the way to go and just hard switched it out. I think the Slowbro scared him off. I don't think it would have lost to Slowbro maybe if he maxed it.
Maybe getting like the burn off or something, because like I mean Slowbro, do you really? Yeah, I was like gonna say so Slowbro, like if Slowbro sets up Trick Room, that's Mudsdale just gives a thumbs up. Like
yeah, good job. And the Trick Room did go up, and I think it KO'd the partner. I forget what the partner was. But he ended up getting the Trick Room up for the Snorlax, which I think is what he was intending.
Togetic died to a Max Steel Spike.
Turn 1 there was a fake out, and then turn 2 there was then he got Trick Room up, and this and that. Yeah. So he got set up the way he wanted, but Snorlax. The thing about Snorlax is its attack. I think it's 110, which is pretty good, but like. Using non-stab moves when you don't have any buffs. The reason Snorlax is so scary is because of the belly drum and the bulk up and the curse. I think it's bulk up or curse. I think it's just curse as well. But once it starts getting buffs and it gets Gmax replenish, it's really, really scary. And especially with redirection, I think he drafted really well by getting that Togetic beside it, which is very little redirection in this format. But he didn't manage to get any stat boosts on the Snorlax before it Dynamaxed, and it did 40% in a quad super effective move against that Magnezone. So 40% to a quad super effect. Yes, it maxed itself, but like its offense just isn't quite there without any buffs. So Vitor just set himself up again. It was just Vitor did Vitor.
Props to Draco though for keeping the dream alive.
Yeah. We all have those weeks.
It wasn't a sweep. Like it really like game 2 really wasn't a sweep, even though the record might indicate something otherwise. There was the Draco fought his way
gallantly
into there, but in the end, once that slower went down, really that was end of story. Especially with the Mudsdale in Trick Room.
Mudsdale's so scary too. You can also over prep for Mudsdale as well, and and not we forget that he has 5 other Pokemon as well. So the Magnezone just went off.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion, I don't think it was Draco's best game. I've seen him play. He plays a lot better than that.
Draco is a phenomenal player.
Yeah, he deserves to be in the Master Ball division. But that wasn't his best showing, and I think he would agree with that as well. But that's why there's 10 weeks in the season, not 1.
Yeah, exactly. We all have not our weeks. So speaking of
speaking of not having your week,
yeah. Speaking of not having the games, speaking of throwing, speaking of
saving
Pokemon,
the best for last.
Exactly. We have our beloved Keverino.
Beloved you.
Yeah, the Sapphire Salamence versus the Space City Pokemon Club. I think that's the first time I've said that out loud on the podcast, because it's usually just PC, but I would like to clarify that's what the PC stands for. Pokemon Club.
Chokers.
Yeah, Pokemon.
Right.
Chode.
Choder. Did you want to even talk about your game, or I can just kind of go about your game? Like did
I want to talk about my game? So I'm Space City PC. This is
Thanks for coming out. It's the World Pokemon League.
Number one draft league you could ever see. Yeah. No, so we can talk about it. It's okay. I think I went to therapy for this.
Well, here's the thing. I will give you a little bit of credit as well. By the way, for those who didn't know, Space lost 2-1, and this is how he handles 2-1 losses. He thinks that the world is coming to an... No, I'm kidding.
Because it is.
You didn't lose by much. Like you lost 1-0 in game 1, and you were 1 turn away from winning. So, and then you also won game 2. So if he missed that Draco Meteor at the end of the game, you win 2-0. You win 1-0.
Yeah, next time I'm
and
just
then
writing
2-0.
Next time I'm just writing Bright Powder and whatever my last Pokemon is.
Well, if I used Draco Meteor in the last turn and saying, "Oh, I win," I would have missed it and lost. But yeah, because he used Draco Meteor. He used Draco Meteor to KO the Persian at the end, but the foul play on the previous turn did 32%, bringing it down to the the Gudra down to 28%.
So I could have if the Draco Meteor had missed. Yeah, but I mean, props to Kevs for whatever the hell he brought. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, props to Kevs is coming in game 3 because sure. This is where he really showed where he belonged.
Yeah, game 3, he was like, okay, Space doesn't really have anything for this. I'm going to set it up. And he did a really good job of that. Getting the Aurora Veil up and then doing the Ice Shard onto Mandibuzz, pivoting his switches right, being able to he knew what his win condition was, and it was a Mandibuzz sweep, and he played to it, and he got rewarded. He played really, really well. I had nothing on my team that could really stop it. And him being able to recognize that win condition and apply it into the game, like into that same game. Props to Kevs for winning, honestly. That's the best. That's the best you'll get out of me, because fuck you, I hate you.
well, by the way, we were talking about balls last game. How about you Ice Beaming Gudra turn 1? In game 1, turn 1, game 1, you're like, screw it, Ice Beam on this thing, and he didn't have policy. I bet you just kind of like, whew.
Thank God.
But
I figured Gudra. I was like, if Gudra wants a semblance to win against a what's it called? Naganadel? I don't know. I knew it was going to be AV, so I was like, or AV or Habanberry at worst.
Yeah, I called the Habanberry as we were watching it too. I thought that was a good item choice.
Yeah, so I was like, it's going to be, it's not going to be weakness policy because he can't afford it. But either way, that turned out to not be the weakness policy user I needed to be afraid of.
Yeah. The Veil, did he set up Veil? Yeah, he set up Veil all 3 games.
Yeah, making it really difficult.
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because in game 3, he had a -1 Mandibuzz from the. By the way, for those who didn't watch, screw you guys. I'm not explaining it because you guys didn't watch the game. No, I'm kidding. He maxed his Mandibuzz and he Ice Sharded it for a weakness policy boost, but Mandibuzz has an ability Weak Armor, which gives it +2 speed and -1 defense if it gets hit by a. Is it a physical move or a contact move? I think it's a physical move. I think it's a physical move because Earthquake activates it on the what's it called, that freaking Garbodor strat back in the day. So it got +2 speed, and then you activate a weakness policy, giving it +2 special defense and special attack and attack, but giving him -1 defense. So at the end of the game, Serena maxed and Max Starfalled that Mandibuzz, and I went, how did you lose this? And I looked and went, oh yeah, Veil was still up.
Yeah.
And that was the difference. That was the difference.
I couldn't output the damage. If Veil hadn't gone up, I'm pretty sure the end would have just been a Serena sweep.
It was looking good at the end. If that KO goes in, it was looking pretty good. I don't know. I think he had he still had the Gudra in the back, and I think there was one that wasn't revealed, but
could have been. Not could have been.
No, it was there. I think it was led. I think he led it, so it was just switched out. I think he did have it.
Either way, props to Kebs for winning. It won't happen again.
Yeah, the game 3, the way it was set up too, I thought that was really cool. Like, he had it there. He set up the Veil, hard switch in the Mandibuzz. When I saw the switch, I thought he was going to side Ice Shard to activate the policy, but because it's priority, he didn't need to. So in 2 turns, he gave you half damage against you from both sides and double attack and double speed within a turn and a half, because the priority happened before Mandibuzz went the second turn. So I thought he gave everything Mandibuzz needed to set up, and it went off and did very well. So good prep for him. I say good prep because he says he doesn't prep.
Kevs did a lot of prep, I bet.
Well, the Habanberry tells me he did prep, but anyway, that's another thing.
He'll deny it.
He'll deny it, but we all know. So good on him for a win, and good on everybody for getting the first week, and Kev's getting his first. We had a couple first wins, because I think we had Aaron win his first game in the WPL. We had Kev's just win his first game in the Master Ball division. Texas Landsharks won his first game in the Master Ball division, and
Vitor won his first game.
Yeah, ever. He doesn't win much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we had a couple of rude awakenings, a couple of really impressive showings from new players and things like that, and just par for the course from a few others. So, very, very good week. Should we go over the moves that were made at the end of the week for week 2, or should we just let people just read the Discord channel?
Part of me wants to end the recording right here and just say they can read the Discord channel too.
Yeah, we're not going to spoon feed everybody. I think everybody wants to listen to this because they want to know. I don't know if they even want to know what we think. They just want to know what we're going to say. I think it's more so.
No, our opinions are not respected whatsoever.
The last video I got like you guys. I would have put your tierings the exact opposite. I was just like, well, okay. I don't know.
Yeah,
if first is last,
either way.
Last
also, we're trying to cut it short, so we don't want to keep everybody here too long. If you guys want to know what the matchups are coming, just check the Discord.
We're not previewing the next week because we don't want to give stuff away and this and that. And this has gone a while, so I guess thank you everybody for listening, and I guess Space, you can see us out.
Yeah. Get out of here. Go on, get.
Go on, get. Just keep saying get.
We'll catch you guys next week. We'll catch you gamers next week. I'm Space Eddie.
PC.
Yeah, PC, and you're
Jingles.
Yeah, you're Jay.
Yep, that guy. All right, peace, guys.
Out.
It's the world.